Live in high definition from the CBS4 studios. This is CBS4 at 10.
We are starting with breaking news tonight. A man is dead after being run over and killed near a very busy intersection in El Paso's Lower Valley. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shelton Dodson.
And I'm Patricia Maya. The crash happened just before 7 p.m. at Alameda and Landon. That's about a mile east of Yarborough. Part of Alameda has been closed in that area. Special traffic investigators work on the scene. CBS 4 at 10's Megan Lopez is live with what we know so far.
Patty, I just arrived here on the scene a couple of minutes ago, and what I can tell you so far is that Alameda is blocked off for about 2 blocks as police investigate. They've put up and they've blocked off the street with police cars and also with crime scene tape and with flares. EPPD has also put up this big spotlight as their traffic investigators try to determine exactly what happened here. So what we know so far at this point is that the call came in around 8:30 of a pedestrian accident. The person was suffering from serious injuries. Just within the last 15 minutes, El Paso police tweeted out that the man died from those injuries. Police say they will not be sending out a spokesperson to the scene to update the media, but they will be tweeting out information. We'll also be trying to collect information from people who are around here to try to figure out exactly what happened. El Paso police tweeted out that this road is expected to be closed for at least 2 more hours. And right now, as I'm here, I'm seeing 2 more police cars arrive on the scene, just kind of giving you an idea that the fact that this is still a very active scene. For the very latest, go to CBS4local.com, and we're going to also try to update you throughout the show. Reporting live in the Lower Valley, Megan Lopez, CBS4 at 10.
Megan, thank you. Another big story tonight. A Las Cruces man is in the hospital after police say he was tied up, stabbed, bitten, and then threatened with a chainsaw.
And now his girlfriend faces charges for kidnapping. CBS4 at 10's Lachey Wesley walks us through an almost unbelievable crime.
Las Cruces police say the man is recovering but is pretty shaken up. Investigators say things became very violent on Monday after the two met up. Kayla Bailey is in jail tonight, and Las Cruces police say her boyfriend is in the hospital. I'm told the night started casually.
Facebook get-together, or hookup, if you will, where boyfriend and girlfriend who haven't seen each other in a while decided to get together for the evening.
And then things escalated from there. Police say it all started here when the two met at this neighborhood park. That's where investigators say Bailey used zip ties to tie up her boyfriend's hands behind his back and ankles together.
From what we understand, all was fine at that time.
But the night continued. The boyfriend reportedly told police she started to say, "Take me to them, take me to them." Police say she parked right outside her home, got out of the car to get a chainsaw.
I imagine that's when he got a little worried.
Officers say she drove down the block and started to stab him with a kitchen knife.
She stabbed him several times on his legs, a couple of puncture wounds in his back.
Investigators say she bit him and hit him several times with a chainsaw, which police say luckily was never on.
There's blood on his legs, on the car seat, on the console of the vehicle.
Police say it ended when someone saw the two in the car. Investigators say the boyfriend was yelling, "She's going to kill me." Do police have any idea of what this woman's motive was?
No, we really don't. And to be honest, I don't know if she even knows.
Bailey is currently being held on a $50,000 cash bond. Reporting live, Lachey Wesley, CBS4 at 10.
Unbelievable story. Okay, Lachey, thank you. Shifting gears now, we are in for another very cold night here in the borderland. Meteorologist Zach Covey's over in the Forewarned Weather Center with our first look at the forecast. Hi, Zach.
Hey, Shelton, a chilly night across much of the borderland. Let's just go ahead and take it right outside. You've got to see what's happening there. 41 degrees with a calm wind. That's the most important part, is a calm wind. And you'll notice on our graphic, well, Texas is pretty cold. We're sitting around -15 degrees in Austin, and that's not a temperature, that is a temperature change. So it's 15 degrees colder in Austin than it was this time yesterday. And look at that, we're already in the negatives here as well. That means we're going to be chilly tonight. How cold we get and how long this cold blast is around, that's coming up.
Zach, thank you. New tonight at 10, firefighters in Las Cruces are called out to a business that a lot of people in town are pretty familiar with. A little after 5 this afternoon, crews responded to a fire at La Bonita Mexican Food Products there at 4th and Picacho. So far, investigators have not released a cause of that fire nor a damage estimate. This business was first opened up in 1968 by Roberto Estrada. And yes, that's the same man who for decades crafted the world's biggest enchilada. La Bonita is now run by one of Mr. Estrada's sons.
The Doña Ana County Treasurer is out of a job tonight after a jury found him guilty of soliciting sex.
We find the defendant guilty of corruption in office or gross immorality by a public officer.
A former employee accused David Gutierrez of offering her money for sex 2 years ago. Today, the 61-year-old testified he was just joking with the woman. The prosecutor called this verdict a victory for the county.
It sends a message that as a public officer, you are held to a high standard, and committing grossly immoral acts and corruption in office is not acceptable.
Gutierrez originally faced criminal charges. Earlier this month, that judge dropped the case. The Doña Ana County District Attorney's Office says it is planning an appeal.
Tonight, CBS4 is finally getting at least a few answers from the board which oversees the Camino Real Regional Mobility Authority. That, of course, is the agency which is in charge of the El Paso streetcar project, from which $3 million in electronic payments were stolen. Today, we talked with the board chairwoman, Susan Melendez. We asked her about the crime, including the imposter contractor who requested a change in banking information in order to steal those payments. The city says that request was approved by the Mobility Authority's executive director, Raymond Tejas. The city says Tejas is responsible for authorizing all streetcar-related payments. So we asked Melendez if that is indeed true.
That is accurate because our executive director approves the invoice. That is our role. In other words, that the process is if we get an invoice, they check, is this legitimate? Is it a proper payment? Has it been authorized? And at that point in time, our executive director turns that over to the city and says, this is okay to pay.
Melendez does believe that mistakes were made by both the RMA and by the city of El Paso. The RMA will meet on Friday to discuss what happens next.
After a troubling past, new leaders with both UMC and the Children's Hospital say change is on the way. It's been almost a year since University Medical Center and the Children's Hospital battled it out in bankruptcy court. Well, now both sides are working together to get Children's back on track financially. Children's CEO Mark Amax and UMC CEO Jacob Cintron sat down to review their financials today, and both are optimistic about the future of the Children's Hospital.
There's a couple of things that are really playing in our favor. Number one, we have an incredible board. We have some of the best leaders in our community, and we are so fortunate to have them leading us and advising us on how to move through the next 5 years.
Amax says Children's is working on new specialized care for the hospital, and he's hopeful this will increase revenues and improve care as well. The White House is downplaying President-elect Trump's deal to save about 1,000 jobs in Indiana. Carrier, an air conditioning company, had planned on moving production to Mexico, but the company says it cut a deal with Trump to keep the jobs at home. White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest wasn't particularly impressed.
The early indications are that this is good news, and obviously we'd welcome that good news. I know that the president-elect has indicated that he deserves credit for that announcement, and I guess what I would observe is that if he is successful in doing that 804 more times, then he will meet the record of manufacturing jobs that were created in the United States while President Obama was in office.
Carrier says Trump will be in Indiana tomorrow to announce a deal, but the two plants employ about 2,000 people, so it's still unclear if all of the jobs will be saved. The company is owned by defense contractor United Technologies, who receives massive government contracts. Remembering the fallen.
Walking into the hospital was really hard, but I'm happy that we're here.
How a former Borderland football coach was honored by UMC.
It's not about the X's and O's today. UTEP basketball coach Tim Floyd sounds off about the state of the minor basketball program.
I want to be a world champion, like Jennifer Hines.
Dreams coming true. The big surprise, CBS4 and Michael Gopin prepared for this 9-year-old boxer and the local champ who helped them out. That's next on Pay It Forward. You're watching CBS4 at 10.
Well, tonight's Pay It Forward is all about a borderland girl who is coming up in the world of boxing, and this knockout is just 9 years old.
And this time, CBS4 and Michael Gopin got some help from a familiar face.
You know, Michael, many times young kids, elementary kids, they don't realize what it is they want to do when they grow up.
We have a 9-year-old today that knows exactly what they want to do.
That's right. She thinks I'm here to interview her, and she's waiting in there. But
surprise, surprise.
That's right. We've got a big surprise under our sleeve.
Let's go find out what it is.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm very excited to meet her. I love especially females who box, so I can relate to them.
This one I won in Dallas, and this one's also in 2016. And this is for this one is for awareness cancer. I want to be a world champion, like Jennifer Hans.
I do my best to give back to amateur boxing because when I was an amateur boxer, I got huge opportunities. I got to travel all over the world when I was in the U.S. team. So as a professional boxer, I hope that I influenced the youngsters to dream big and accomplish all their goals. And I was a Junior Olympic chair, so I got to work with the Junior Olympic fighters when they fought in Russia in 2012. So I try my best to give back to the amateur boxers as much as possible.
Well, did someone say they wanted to meet Jennifer Hahn? You do?
You do? Hi,
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
So nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I brought a gift for you. These are some signed gloves.
Oh, wow.
So cool.
Thank you. And I have, you're welcome. And I have a picture for you. So you can have that special. I'm very happy to meet you.
Thank you.
And I want you to dream big and keep fighting hard.
We have something else for you. It's expensive to do all these boxing stuff, huh? We have a gift card for you to help out.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Boy, you're going to be set. Now you go get all that equipment that you need, because I know that you go through a lot of that, huh?
I was very excited to meet Ivy. She's great, and she's a very talented boxer. She just fought last week and won again. I was very impressed with Mr. Gopin doing the Pay It Forward. That's wonderful, especially for amateur athletes, because usually everything, all the out-of-pocket expenses come from the parents or the coaches, so they have to pay their travel, they have to pay transportation, food, hotel, competition. Everything is an added cost. So for him to do that, that's going to help her great and keep motivating her to keep up the good work.
Well, that is what you call a wonderful fifth. And on that note, don't forget, there's nothing too small that can't make a difference.
What a great story. And if you want to help us pay it forward, share your story by going to CBS4local.com and clicking on the community tab. That's also where you can stream all the past Pay It Forward segments that have already aired. The Wall of Heroes at University Medical Center pays tribute to those who help people they've never met. We're talking about organ donors.
Today, one borderland football coach was given his place on that wall. CBS 410's Ryan Hill shows us the impact that he made.
With the holidays and all, it's been very, very, very hard.
The Wall of Heroes is filled with faces that are gone, but not forgotten. University Medical Center added 4 people whose organs saved lives of people they never met.
I had the opportunity to speak to one of his recipients who got his kidney, and the story that they told me, the impact that they made that he made on their lives, it's something that I can't describe.
One of those was former Centennial High School football coach Roger Grays.
Just walking into the hospital was really hard. But I'm happy that we're here to honor him, because he deserved this much.
Grays died 1 year ago today in a rollover crash on I-25. He was 44 years old. Today, his widow Olga and children were at UMC with tissues in hand and tears in their eyes to honor their father.
Preparing my children and myself to be here was really hard, but I feel like it's very important for them to know that Roger was so full of life.
Though today was extremely meaningful for the Grays, they admit it still hurts.
Just bittersweet. It's sad and happiness, and that even after he passed away, he's given life to other people. And I think that's something really important for them to know.
The definition of a hero. Ryan Hill, CBS4 at 10.
The crash that took his life happened the day after Thanksgiving, and on Thanksgiving, on that day, around the newsroom, we were talking about Coach Graves, you know, and just, he's not forgotten, that's for sure.
And continues giving life, and of course, we salute him tonight.
And we are still thinking about his family, and his football family as well. Still to come tonight, Santa gets a badge.
The one thing sheriff's deputies are doing to make children smile on Christmas morning, and how you can chip in.
And we may still be in fall, but boy, it feels more like winter out there. Another Arctic blast is on the way, too. The timing of that is next on CBS4 at 10. And welcome back. A chilly day across much of the borderland. We had a low at the international airport of 26. That is hard freeze category. A hard freeze is when we get temperatures below 28 degrees. So 26, that's right on target, too, for the average of a hard freeze. Check this out. The first hard freeze is around November 24th. So we're around the same time. Keep in mind the last freeze for the borderland around March 17th. So we've got a long ways to go of chilly nights ahead. And with high pressure still firmly in control, nothing on radar and no clouds. That's going to allow for much of the daytime heating we saw today to escape into the atmosphere. So 39 in El Paso, that'll drop. 29 in Las Cruces, 33 in Deming. All of these temperatures going to be down into the 20s and potentially some teens out towards Deming as we go throughout the morning tomorrow. With the calm winds, that's also going to allow that heat to escape, but not so fast because we're going to see some changes. Notice these greens. This is an area of low pressure developing, and notice how it kind of moves on down towards the Baja. Well, that's going to allow for eastern Pacific moisture to tap in. So expect one more sunny day for your Thursday, and then Friday, here come those clouds. Here comes that stream of moisture, and right on time for your weekend, we're seeing mountain snows, some rain for El Paso. By 6 o'clock, it begins to get scattered. So for that 2016 celebration of lights down by the San Isidro Plaza, 5:30 is when they light that Christmas tree. I still have a chance for showers, so make sure you take that rain jacket. Temperatures dropping throughout the day, 48 by the time they light that tree. 28 tonight in El Paso, mostly clear skies, and 24 out in Las Cruces with those light and variable winds. For that extended forecast, there's that front. So 62 on Friday, 53 on Saturday with some rain, and then cooling off. Monday, we see yet another front boosting those winds.
All right, thank you, Zach.
Been a little turmoil within the UTEP minor basketball program, and Lou Romano went straight to the men and got some, I thought, some straight answers.
Yeah, I don't think Tim Floyd woke up this morning and said, all right, I'm going to shut everybody up today. I'm tired of hearing. I think what happened was the way the season's unfolding and what happened with Terry Wynn, I think he felt, you know, it's time for me to kind of clue everybody in here. You know, there are some situations you just cannot control. Why that applies directly to Tim Floyd and the UTEP basketball program. That's next on CBS4 Sports. All right, I want to start tonight with UTEP basketball coach Tim Floyd. I know a lot of people are criticizing UTEP basketball, from losing games they usually win to a bunch of players leaving the program. Today at practice, Floyd talked about all of it, starting first with the departure of sophomore Terry Wynn.
You know, he had quit us twice as a freshman, and you know, at some point you move on and you give the guys that you got in your program that are really quality, good people. Not that Terry isn't. I wish him the best. I wish him well. But we needed to focus on the guys that we have.
There's a perception about the program, and Wynn just seemed to fuel some. I don't even care about Terry Wynn, to tell you the truth. Right. But the perception of UTEP basketball, your take on what that might be like, and if there's a problem, how do you fix it?
I'll tell you, the perception right now is that we're not real good right now. You know, we got beat by Southeast Louisiana. I like to think in terms of what this year would have been like. In this group right now, we might have a healthy Matt Wilm at 7'1", who's not. We might have a MVP in our league in Matt Wilm or Vince Hunter. Isaac leaving, we couldn't control that. Lee Moore decided to go pro. Vince Hunter decided to go pro. Not much to do with us, all right? And Josh McSwiggan left with a girlfriend. I think that those kids would make us a top 15 program. You take those kids off of mid-major programs. We're not Michigan State. We're not North Carolina. And you know what happens? You really struggle. And that's where we are right now.
It's Tim Floyd. And listen, you got to be fair here. Floyd made some excellent points dealing with a lot of unusual circumstances. In fact, you want to see another one? How about junior guard Omega Harris? He's been suspended for Saturday night's game against Northwestern State. Harris skipped class. That's a no-no with Coach Floyd. But you know what? Harris is owning up to it.
I skipped class like one time this week, and then it was right during one of the class checks with one of the managers. They went back and told coach, and I got to learn from it. I got to sit in class. I'm a student athlete first.
So Omega Harris, UTEP home against Northwestern State Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Aggie basketball tonight. They come back and beat the Air Force. This is at the Pan Am, 78-70. Air Force was up 4 at the half. And MSU now 6-2 on the season. Women's basketball. UTEP's Keitha Adams has her list. Checking it twice. UTEP home against Houston Baptist. Sparkle Taylor was on that list. She goes in for 2 here. UTEP's in control of this one the whole way. In fact, Katarina Zek getting involved as well. Miners all over HBU. Final score 75-45. Taylor, by the way, a game-high 21. Miners now 2-5. All right, finally, around here on Thursdays, Wednesdays, what's today?
One of those 2 days.
It's one of those 2 days? Yeah. We've got a feature we call the Team of the Week.
Lou, this week CBS4 Applebee's Team of the Week is the Northeast Vipers, and it's a special group. Back-to-back bowl champions, as you can see by the trophies next to me, and they're getting ready for the All-Star game, so you know this is going to be an intimidating bunch. Coach, where's your team? Oh, that's right, the Vipers are a Pee Wee football team.
Undefeated all year, spring and in the fall, and didn't give up a touchdown. So they were undefeated, and not only that, but they stopped other teams from scoring the whole year. So it's a tremendous feat for especially a bunch of young kids.
Little kid who got the trophy was adorable.
We've sent our investigators out.
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah, you know, we usually run the Team of the Week on Thursdays. We got the Cowboys tomorrow night. We bumped it up a day.
Are we doing Petty's Picks tonight? Tomorrow. We'll figure it out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right. We'll be right back.
Investigate.
That boy is.